Hello Grape fam, welcome back to the channel. I know it's only been a couple days since our last update, but we wanted to share with you guys a little bit of a special strategy video on how we can help protect the Grape peg and maximize our rewards for everybody in the protocol. So let's jump into it. The first thing to understand is that obviously Grape is an algorithmic coin, so that means it is totally natural for the Grape price to fall below the 101 MiM peg from time to time, and that's not a sign of an unhealthy protocol. In fact, that's actually part of the Grape stabilization system working as normal. Now, all of that said, if we do want to make the most gains possible from the protocol, then we do want the winery to keep printing Grape rewards, right? We all know that at around 1.4, 1.3% per day, staking wine in the winery and receiving fresh grape every epoch is one of the most profitable aspects of the protocol. However, now with Grape so close to the 101 peg, we are at risk for the first time in a long time of missing some of these prints. As I said, it's not the end of the world, but for all of us to maximize our gains, we want to do everything we can to keep the boardroom printing as frequently as possible, right? So how can we do that? So the first part of this is fairly obvious. This is the chart for the Grape MiM pair on Trader Joe, and I'll just zoom into the portion that covers roughly the last month, right? So you can see we've been hovering nicely just above that 101 peg mark on the Trader Joe pool. But what happens is, naturally, anytime someone sells Grape for MiM in this Trader Joe pool, the price of Grape goes down. Obviously, if the average TWAP, the time-weighted average price of Grape, is below 1.01 MiM for the duration of an epoch, we will not get a print at the end of that epoch. So, most people understand that. What you might not have seen so far is that, as you can see in my watch list here, there are actually 3 Grape pairs I'm watching, as well as the wine and MiM pairs. So I will blow this up a little bit for you guys so you can see it. And basically this is going to be the Grape MiM pair on Trader Joe, the main pool, and that's the pool that determines the peg price. The second pool is going to be Grape MiM pair, so the same pair on Swapsicle DEX. You can see it has a little bit less liquidity, but it's essentially the same pool, and this is the LP that people are using to make the Grape MiM Swapsicle nodes. The third Grape price, which you might not know about, is the Grape wine pair on Trader Joe, and the reason that's important is that, yes, this pool is a pool of Grape and wine, so you might think that trading Grape for wine or wine for Grape directly actually shouldn't have an impact on the peg, but in fact it does. And the reason that this happens is because of arbitrage. So for example, imagine on Trader Joe, the price of Grape is 101 MiM, right? Now imagine that someone goes to the Grape wine pool on Trader Joe and sells some Grape to buy some wine. That will move the price of Grape in the Grape wine pool. It will obviously go down if you sell Grape for wine, or it'll go up if you sell wine for Grape. Now, if you sell too much Grape for wine using the Grape wine pool, what's going to happen is eventually the price of Grape in wine is going to go down below $1 or even lower, depending on the sell volume. Now, what happens as a response to that is that arbitrage bots, or simply arbitrage humans, will buy wine, and then they'll take their wine, use that wine to buy the cheaper Grape in the Grape wine pool, and then they're going to take their Grape back to the Grape MiM pool on either Trader Joe or Swapsicle, and they're going to sell that Grape for a little bit more value of MiM than they paid for it when they bought it using wine. So that's just a process called arbitrage, and that's the reason that the price of Grape in all of these 3 pools is exactly the same. It's also the reason that if you sell Grape for wine or you sell Grape for MiM on Swapsicle, it will indirectly affect the price of Grape, which of course will affect the Grape peg. So that's how the peg moves and how arbitrage affects the peg if and when we sell Grape in other pools. Now, what are some of the alternatives to selling Grape for taking profits? We have a couple good options here. The first option we have is buying Grape when it's under peg, or taking your Grape rewards from your nodes or the winery and using those rewards to make Grape nodes, right? We can see the Grape node APR is actually extremely healthy now, even though the Grape nodes have been around for so long. So you can earn roughly 1.27% daily, and that's going to pay out in Grape, and that will give you an opportunity to increase your stash of Grapes during this time when the TWAP is low. Obviously, when Grape prices go back higher, that's going to be a healthy time to start taking profits in Grape again, and you'll be in a strong position to cash out when that happens. The second option that I'm going to recommend would be staking your grape in the single stake pool and earning wine. So this can be found on the vineyard page or through the dashboard. And essentially what this is, it's a lot like staking your LP to earn wine, but you can just stake your straight grape. So without any need to sell your grape or zap your grape, you can stake your grape directly and earn wine. Obviously, selling wine for MIM has no effect on the grape peg, and that's the healthiest way that we recommend taking some profits out of the protocol if you choose to do that. Naturally, the best time to take profits is going to be when grape peg is higher, because that also means that the wine price is going to be higher. So any of the tokens you have now will obviously be worth more if you choose to take profits at that time. But if you'd like to take profits, or if you need to take profits right now, we highly recommend selling wine tokens instead of grape tokens right now. And one final note on selling grape is that if you use the zap function on the homepage to create grape MIM LP using just pure grape, what that zap function essentially does is it's going to take half of the grape you enter here, sell it for MIM on Trader Joe, and it's going to pair those automatically for you to create your LP. So you may have noticed I said it's going to sell half of your grape, and yes, that's still a sale that will affect the peg price. So another option that we have right now to start earning wine, if you do choose to earn some wine and take some profits using the wine token, would be staking Grape MIM LP. You can do that by either staking the Grape MIM Swapskull LP, or you can stake Grape MIM Trader Joe LP. As we just went through, the prices are going to be very similar because of arbitrage, but essentially the important thing to remember with this option is, like I said, we want to avoid using the zap function when grape is so close to peg. The best alternative to that is to use some MIM you already have in your wallet, or to sell some other tokens, not grape, for MIM, and then manually pull your grape with your MIM on the Trader Joe website. If you haven't used Trader Joe to manually make LP before, it's really simple. You can go to the Trader Joe site, you're going to hit this pool button up at the top next to trade, and just simply search grape. The grape MIM pool will be the first one that comes up because it has the deepest liquidity. You can then click on that pool, and Trader Joe is going to prompt you to enter however many grape you like, as well as however many MIM you like, to pool them together. You can see I have a fair amount of MIM from selling wine during times when wine prices was high. So now, anytime I earn fresh grape awards, I don't have to sell any grape to be able to create LP. Another option that we have that I want to mention to you guys is the Grape Wine LP. So in this case, if you don't want to sell your wine for MIM because you figure that when the grape peg goes higher, wine's going to be worth more, and that's actually a better time to sell some of your wine than right now when wine prices are low because the peg is low, then what you can do is you can go back to Trader Joe, you can search grape wine and pool your grape and wine directly together without selling either asset. And if you're more of a set it and forget it type of investor, what you can do is you can take any of those LPs I just mentioned over to the Magic Auto Compounder, which is linked on our homepage, and you can put your Grape MIM LP from either Swapskull or Trader Joe, or obviously single staped grape as well, and you can put all of those in the Magic Auto Compounder. That gives you the benefit of auto compounding your rewards, and it also benefits the protocol because it's going to constantly sell your rewards to buy more grape tokens. And we're not done there, because there are more options for you to use your grape to earn a profit without selling your grape while the peg is low. So another option we have here is the Alto Protocol Lottery, and this is on Binance Smart Chain. So if you want to do this, you're going to use multichain.org to bridge your tokens from Avalanche over to Binance. And once you have some grape tokens on the BNB network, what you can do is you can come over here to Alto, and you'll see now that along with their Alto native tokens, as well as the AIMS and Quantic tokens, Grape is actually an option for you to go ahead and buy tickets for the Alto Lottery. And what that does is every 24 hours, a winner is chosen, and you're going to earn a whole bunch of all 5 of these tokens earned from the tickets that everybody purchased over the last 24 hours. So this is a great option for you to possibly earn a lot more than you had with your initial grape awards without having to sell a single grape. And finally, and perhaps the most fun option we have for using your grapes while we're close to peg without selling them is the Games tab, and you can see it linked on the homepage. There's actually 3 partner games now that all incorporate Grape for use for either buying tokens or buying spins or buying credits, right? So let's check these out. The first one is going to be our Space Shooter. This is a pretty cool little 2D shooter game on Burn for Fun, and you can buy credits using Grape, 5 credits for 1 grape. And if you are on the high scores, you will earn a payout in the grape token. You can then take that bigger stack back to the single staking, the nodes, or the grape wine pool, or you could pair it with some of your MIM if you already have MIM, using the strategies we discussed earlier in the video. And you can take some profits using wine by earning even more wine than you would have without being such a baller at the Space Shooter game. The next partner game we have is the King of the Colosseum game. You can see we have a great pool here, and the way this works is that you can connect your wallet to their website if you choose to enter some grape, and you are the last staker who staked in the pool. After a certain amount of time, assuming nobody knocks you off by staking grape after you, you can go ahead and win some of the prize pot. In fact, you can win the whole prize pot after 6 hours of surviving the tournament. So essentially you can see right now, someone is 30 minutes into their stake. If they last the whole 6 hours, they will win this 1,200 grape prize. So this is an awesome way to be able to earn a ton of grape just by staking a little bit of grape on the KOC Gladiator Finance game. And the final options for all of you pure gamblers out there is we have the Grape Slots game. And for this one spin costs 1.2 grape. You can buy some spins using your grape, and if you win, you might get a prize as an NFT, you might win some wine tokens, or you could earn some other prizes if you get the correct spin combinations. So let's go ahead and buy some of these spins. I'll get 5 now and see what we get. Alright, so I'm going to pay 6 grape for my 5 spins, 1.2 grape each spin. I'll go ahead and autoplay my spins, and let's see what happens. There we go, I got a minor prize for 2 grape. Play the rest of these spins, see if we get anything. Oh, almost. I thought I was going to get the double wine there. Looks like I've won another grape prize. And we use this last spin. Come on, baby. There we go, 2 goblets in a row, 10 grapes. So I'm pretty sure I just doubled my grapes at least using those spins, and on Friday I'll get that payoff. Again, I can take the grape I just doubled over to the single stake or the node pool and earn some more wine with that. If I choose to take profits during this time when the peg is low, I can use the wine I earned from those pools to go ahead and sell it for MIM and take some profits that way. That will also give me some MIM I can pair with some of this grape if I choose to just build my LP even faster, and again, continue to earn even more wine than I would have if I had just decided to sell my grape straight for wine or stake the grape that I already have. Obviously, slot machines are gambling. You're not guaranteed to win anything if you do stake your grape, but at 1.2 grape a spin, it is definitely worth checking it out. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this little special update. I just wanted to share with you guys all of the options we have for using your grape without selling it when the peg is low. And if you do these things, it's going to help promote the price of wine, it's going to keep the vineyard rewards printing, and ultimately it's going to keep the protocol as profitable as possible for everybody involved. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're not worried if grape does go below peg briefly or even for a period of several epochs, because that is a natural part of the contraction and expansion process. But I'm just here to give you guys some tips on what we can all do together to help maximize our profit on the protocol. So if you are interested in continuing to earn those wine rewards, if you want to keep staking wine in the winery without hurting the peg, these are some things you guys can do to make sure you're maximizing your profits even while grape is low at peg, and then ideally when the grape peg gets higher, you're going to be in an even stronger position than you would have been otherwise if you chose to just sell your grape for a lower price, right? So thanks guys for checking this out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to jump in the Discord. You can check out the docs if you want a more detailed explanation of some of this stuff. And again, if you haven't checked out these games, definitely do it because they are all pretty cool. All right, Grape out.